Welcome to part 2. Let's get started, shall we? Okay, so exercise 2. Where we need to start here is we'll start by adding a title and at least 3 block level elements. Okay, so it's up to you how many, you have to use at least 3, but it's up to you how many structural block elements, which are the HTML semantic, the new HTML5 semantic elements. Okay, I'm going to use header, main, and footer in my my demo here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so in CodePen, the HTML, we just have to start writing the HTML elements, which are going to go in the body of the document. We don't have to create the entire structure. So basically, we do not need to add the doc type, HTML, head, body, any of these elements, okay? They're going to be done for us. But just keep in mind, this here, what we're looking at is the basic document structure, which is your start point for every page you create. All right, so let's now just real quickly, when I say element, what we're talking about is an HTML element. We usually will have the element name, whatever content is inside the element, and then that element name closes. And this is a block level normal element, no, excuse me, not a block level, just a normal HTML element. We'll talk about empty elements a little bit later on. Okay, so let's begin, and we're going to start by creating a header. Okay, so our header is usually, if not always, the beginning, the beginning of your web page, usually always up at the very top. Now the header can be a graphic, the header can be a series of graphics, it could be a video, it's really up to you. But think of the header as the banner area, all right? Now following the heading, so header is a semantic element. So following the header, then let's go main, and we will close main. Main is a semantic element, which is just the main content of your page. And then let's add a footer, and we'll close our footer. Okay, so we have just created our basic outline where we have a header, which is the banner. We have our main content area, and then we have our footer. Okay, now remember, you have to use at least 3 of the main HTML5 structural block elements, and you want to use them appropriately. So in our case, again, as a quick review, the header is our banner. Main, this is just where we would have the main content of the page. And then the footer, this is where we would have information like date, last update, copyright information, maybe a sitemap, something like that. Okay. All right. So if we go back to exercise 2, we also have to have, we've already done our page title, and we have now added some structure, or HTML5 elements to our structure. And then you have to have an H1 element with your name. So I'm going to place my H1 inside the header. Now, you don't have to. You could have your H1 tag after your header, but I'm just going to place mine up here. So we'll have H1, and then add your name, like so, and then we will close our H1 element, and then I'll go ahead and just force a save, and you should see your name showing up right here in the page visual area. Okay. All right. So we have added our 3 mandatory HTML5 semantic elements, and we have added our initial headline, or our H1 element. All right. Done with part 1. Let's get going with part 2. In the next video, we'll go over part 3.